Whoa, that was a lot of travel credit cards. Hey everyone, my name is Eric and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Fresh off from graduating from college with one single plastic 1% cashback Wells Fargo credit card in his wallet, the only credit card that I had for all 4 years of college, ready to tackle anything that came his way in the real world. Boy, weren't those simpler times. I didn't even know that my Wells Fargo cashback card even had a percentage cashback. I didn't even know exactly what credit cards were. Simpler times, simpler times. Anyways, if you saw the title of this video and are interested in getting a credit card or travel credit card, then congratulations, you're already on the right steps towards financial literacy. But before we can get into my own personalized recommendations of the best travel credit cards to get as a college student or soon to be graduate, I have to provide some brief information about exactly what a credit card is, why it's important, what a credit score is, why that's important, and if you don't already have a credit card, which ones to get to start out with. If you're someone who already knows the answers to all of the questions that I just asked, then feel free to skip to number 5 travel credit cards and the timestamps below. But if you're still here, let's get started. Alright, so what is a credit card? Have you heard of a debit card before? If you have, then good. A credit card is essentially a debit card in the way that you use money from your checking account with a debit card. But a credit card actually borrows money from the bank and then you accrue what is called debt until you pay it off every single month. In simpler terms, using a debit card to purchase stuff actually uses your own money only. But for a credit card, you're actually borrowing the bank's money and then paying it off in a timely basis every single month. Sounds easy enough, right? Now, why do you need a credit card? Why couldn't you technically only use your debit card when buying stuff and only using your own money? Instead of having to use a credit card to borrow money from the bank, isn't that technically considered debt? Well, yes and no. The whole reason of getting a credit card is to build up what is called a credit score. And using a debit card can't do that in any way. A credit card is a utility to help improve your credit score. Now, what is a credit score? A short and simple answer is a credit score is used by banks to determine how likely it is for you to pay back a loan on time. Meaning a credit score is used to determine whether or not you'll be approved for mortgages for a house, additional credit cards, car loans, and other types of loans. Think about your credit score as basically how much a bank trusts you to handle their money and paying it back. The higher your credit score is, the more likely a bank will trust you to give you their money. And that also pretty much sums up why exactly a credit score is important. There's a certain criteria used to determine how good or how bad your credit score can get, but we're gonna leave that for another video, so stay tuned for that. And finally, if you don't already have a credit card, what credit card should you start out with? There's the secured credit card route, where essentially you put a deposit into the account and that becomes your credit limit, or how much money total you can spend on that credit card. This method is generally used by those with low credit scores or no credit history. Now, the deposit is used as collateral just in case you cannot pay off your debt every month. The second method is simply getting a student credit card. These are generally geared towards people who are currently either part-time or full-time students currently attending college or university. They're unsecured, so unlike secured credit cards, you don't have to put a cash deposit in as a security deposit. They also have incentives that are only geared towards students too, such as giving you money for showing that you got good grades for the semester. And the third and final method is asking a financially responsible parent or guardian if it's possible for them to add you as an additional user on one of their existing credit card lines. Notice that I say financially responsible parent and guardian, not just a parent or guardian, because it's not as simple as you think as to just be added as an authorized user onto one of their credit card lines. Anything that this parent or guardian will do will negatively or positively benefit your own credit score. So if you have a parent or guardian who is not good at handling their own debt, this could actually negatively impact your own credit score very early on, causing you to basically not start at the starting line, but you're starting like 10 feet behind the starting line instead. And we don't want that to happen. If your financially responsible parent or guardian allows this method to happen, every single time they're paying off their own credit cards, it actually sends a report to your own credit score file, thus positively influencing your credit score without you having to do anything. So again, using the start line method, you're actually starting 10 feet ahead of the starting line instead of starting with everyone else. Alright, so now that we've established some information and you've taken the steps to establish a credit score, let me put up everything that I just mentioned in writing for you just so that you get a better picture of what I just mentioned. Plus, you'll be able to go back to this part of the video anytime you need a reference. Oh, and one last thing. This is actually the criteria that I'm going to be using to judge why these credit cards are the top 5 best travel credit cards to get as a college student and recent college graduate. First, you have utility, meaning how many ways does the travel credit card provide ways to earn those valuable reward points and miles and also give you valuable perks. Second is buildability, meaning that once you get this travel credit card, how can you continue to maximize its value by being in the credit card issuer's ecosystem or transferring your points to transfer partners. And third, but definitely most important, affordability. And that's pretty much self-explanatory. All right, so now that we've established this baseline, let's get into the video. At number 5, I couldn't single out a single credit card for this spot, but I promise you that for spots 1 through 4, there will be a single card format. But for this spot, there were just too many good picks that I couldn't single out one single credit card for the spot. In the end, I have to go with the travel credit cards that don't have an annual fee from a major credit card issuer like Capital One, American Express, Chase, or Citibank. And the reasoning behind that is because the buildability and the affordability for these types of travel credit cards are of the highest tier. Not only do you get to further build your own credit score through these cards and also earn this coveted reward points that you can use on travel later on in life, but you also get the chance to upgrade these travel credit cards to the mid-tier or premium tier level. Imagine these no annual fee travel credit cards as the beginner Pokemon in a 3-step evolution of a Pokemon, where you have a no annual fee travel credit card as a Charmander, a mid-tier travel credit card as a Charmeleon, and finally the premium travel credit card as the second favorite Pokemon of all time, Charizard. And while these travel credit cards don't come with the insane incentives and additional perks that mid-tier or premium travel credit cards have, they also come with no annual fee. So for those of you that are in college or about to graduate from college, assuming that you don't really have a lot of money right now, these travel credit cards are definitely perfect for you guys to start earning those coveted reward points. At number 4, we have the US Bank Altitude Connect Visa Signature Card. That's a mouthful to say. I get it. It seems like a random pick, especially since I haven't really talked about this card yet, but it's a pretty amazing travel credit card. For affordability, you don't have to pay an annual fee for the first year of owning this card. Yes, the annual fee, which is usually $95, is waived for the first year, so it's a nice buffer for those transitioning into the real world to make some money before you have to start paying for stuff. For utility, the ways to earn points for this card is extremely comparable, oftentimes beating out their opponents in terms of total points earned. For ways to earn these points, you have 5x on prepaid hotels and car rentals booked through Altitude Rewards Center, 4x on travel, gas stations and EV charging stations, 2x on grocery stores, grocery deliveries, dining and streaming services, and 1x on all other eligible purchases. Pretty much all the ways that a college student or a soon-to-be graduate will probably spend their money. And I especially love the 4% on gas stations just because, let me tell you, commuting to and from work is going to be a daily headache for you as soon as you start working. In addition to that, you also get a $30 statement credit to popular streaming services and also a $100 TSA PreCheck or Global Entry credit every 4 years. And what's TSA PreCheck or Global Entry? It's expedited processing through TSA. So say goodbye to those long lines at airports. For buildability, this is where the US Bank Altitude Connect Visa Signature Card lacks a bit compared to other cards in this list. The rewards are pretty much fixed, meaning your hard-earned points are only ever going to be worth 1 cent per point for things like travel, merchandise, gift cards, cashback, etc. Meaning that US Bank doesn't have the international or domestic transfer partner resume that a lot of large credit issuers have, meaning that those points cannot be transferred out and returned at a better cent to point ratio. On top of that, there's not really a way to upgrade any further from this card in the future. US Bank does have a premium travel credit card called the US Bank Altitude Reserve Visa Infinite Card, but for $400 annually, the US Bank Altitude Connect Visa Signature Card is a better deal. At number 3, we have the Citi Premier Card by Citibank. Like I mentioned previously in my previous video, the Citi Premier Card is a hidden gem, and let me explain why. For affordability, this travel credit card comes with the oh so common $95 annual fee. However, if you're somehow able to reasonably spend $500 in a year on hotel bookings through Citibank, you're actually getting a $100 statement credit paid back to you. This means that Citibank is actually paying you $5 to keep this card. So if you're someone who could reasonably do that, this card is essentially an annual fee free credit card. And the utility for this card doesn't lack at all either. With a Citi Premier card, you'll get 3x points per dollar spent on 5 different categories. That's 3x on air travel, 3x on hotels, 3x on gas stations, 3x on supermarkets, and 3x at restaurants. On top of that, you also get 1% on all other eligible purchases. No other travel credit card out there has this type of utility, except maybe the number 1 travel credit card on this list. Stay tuned for that. For buildability, the Citi Premier card has one of the most impressive international transfer partner resumes out there, with 16 different airline transfer partners and 2 hotel partners. Although, unfortunately, most of the airline transfer partners are international. The only domestic airline transfer partner is JetBlue. So if you're a fan of JetBlue, maybe you can start being a fan of this Citi Premier card. You also have the luxury of building a Citibank trifecta, with the Citi Custom Cash that gives you 5% cash back on one category, the Citi Double Cash that gives you 2% on any purchase. You earn anywhere from 2% to 5% on all purchases. And in terms of upgrading this travel credit card, there's not really any room for that. Citibank used to have a premium travel credit card, but they've stopped offering that travel credit card pretty recently. At number 2, we have the new premium travel credit card by Capital One that just came out at the end of 2021, the Capital One Venture X card. This is an amazing card to get right now. A lot of different credit card and travel blogs have all mentioned this card in some capacity. And not to be biased here, but I actually got this travel credit card for myself as soon as I heard all the great things about this card. For affordability, this travel credit card has the highest annual fee out of any travel credit card on this video. At $395, this travel credit card is no joke. But it actually makes sense in the long run. That's because it also comes with a $300 travel statement credit stipend every year. Meaning anything from booking flights to hotels to Airbnb stays can be free for up to $300, turning this into a $95 annual fee travel credit card. On top of this, Capital One is also promising 10,000 bonus miles every card anniversary, meaning every year you have this card, you get an extra 10,000 bonus miles. And if you spend these at the worst ratio possible, meaning 1 cent to 1 point, Capital One is actually paying you essentially $100 to keep this card every single year. So in turn, when you add the $300 in travel statement credits that Capital One gives you, plus the 10,000 bonus miles every single year that Capital One gives you, Capital One is actually giving you $400 total. When you subtract the $395 annual fee, Capital One is actually paying you $5 to keep this card every single year. And notice how I said the worst possible ratio. We're gonna get back into that in just a little bit. For utility, this card is extremely versatile as well. For ways to earn, you have 10x on hotels and car rentals booked through Capital One Travel, 5x on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and then unlimited 2x on all other purchases, making this card essentially a 2% cashback card at all times. In addition to that, I've had no complaints in terms of using the Capital One travel portal. It's powered by Hopper, which is an app that helps search for the best prices on flights and hotels. And I've gotta say, I'm actually pretty confident in saying that it actually does that. And the user interface for the travel portal is actually pretty user-friendly as well. You can set up alerts for specific flights to literally tell you when the better price is available. And I've seen instances where Capital One actually pays off the differences of what you paid for with your flight versus if the price actually falls below that. And since this is Capital One's premium travel credit card, it also comes with the Priority Pass, which is essentially a collection of over 1,300 plus lounges across the world that get you access to for free, as well as Capital One's own network of lounges. For buildability, the Capital One Venture X card is at the highest tier of travel credit cards that you could get with Capital One. It means you're capped out. But combining that with the Capital One Saver One Rewards credit card that gives you 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and popular streaming services, and 2% on grocery stores, means that you're netting anywhere from 2% to 10% on all of your different expenditures. And since Capital One recently added a ton of new international and domestic transfer partners, totaling to 17 total with 15 airlines and 2 hotels, and revamped their points to be one-to-one transfers at most of these transfer partners. This allows you to get 2 cents to 4 cents when you transfer to these transfer partners instead of the measly 1 cent to 1 point ratio that you would have gotten at the Capital One travel portal. This essentially allows your points to get anywhere from 2 cents to 4 cents when you transfer them out to an international or domestic transfer partner, instead of the measly 1 cent to 1 point ratio that you would have gotten at the Capital One travel portal. And if you remember what I said about using those 10,000 bonus miles you get every single year for owning this card, that actually equates to anywhere from $200 to $400 that Capital One is actually giving you every single year. Meaning that Capital One is actually paying you more to keep this card. All right, so now it's time for the #1 travel credit card that I would personally recommend to college students and soon-to-be graduates alike. At #1, I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred Travel Credit Card. Aside from being recommended by one of the most reputable credit card websites out there, this travel credit card gives you what I believe is the best value amongst any travel credit card out there. For affordability, the Chase Sapphire Preferred clocks in at $95, what all other mid-tier travel credit cards clock in at. And with their $50 hotel statement credit, the immediate out-of-pocket cost is actually going to be $45. Additionally, you have the 10% annual points bonus, meaning whatever you spend within a calendar year, Chase will give you 10% of it back as points. Meaning if you spend $25,000 in a calendar year, you'll get 2,500 bonus points at the end of the year. And Chase has even decided to go one step crazier and have these points be valued at 25% more value when spent through their own rewards portal. Meaning that instead of the measly 1 cent to 1 point ratio that all of these card issuers seem to have agreed on with their travel portals, for Chase, you actually get 1.25 cents per point instead of 1 cent per point. Obviously, this doesn't really matter if you decide to go to transfer partners anyways, but for those of you that want to use their points in other ways, such as cash back, gift cards, statement credit bills, you'll get more potential out of your points. Oh, and also the Chase Sapphire Preferred gives you a 1-year complimentary membership to Dash Pass from DoorDash. But if you don't really use DoorDash, this perk probably won't apply to you, but for those that do, this perk actually comes out to be $120 a year. For utility, like I hinted during the breakdown of the City Premier card, I believe that this card has the most versatile ways to earn points on the market to date. You got 5x on travel via the Chase Travel Portal, 5x on Peloton Bike, 5x on Lyft, 3x on dining, streaming services, and online grocery shopping, and 2x on travel booked not via the Chase Travel Portal, and then finally 1x on everything else. With so many ways to earn points, I can see why this becomes a daily driver for a lot of people. For buildability, there's not really any other competition that really beats out Chase. Not only can you upgrade your Chase Sapphire Preferred into their premium travel card called the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you also have a wide variety of transfer partners as well. 14 to be exact, 11 airlines and 3 hotels, with a lot of them being instantaneous, meaning you're able to net 2 cents to 4 cents per point spent on travel. And of course, if you decide to use your points in other ways, you'll be using your points at a 1.25 cent to 1 point ratio instead of the commonly 1 cent to 1 point ratio. On top of that, the Chase Trifecta or the Chase ecosystem is one of the best trifectas out there. If you decide on getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred and get a combination of the Chase Freedom Flex and the Chase Freedom Unlimited, you're looking at 1.5% to 5% cash back on essentially every category. And when you attribute that these points are actually worth 25% more due to Chase's 25% bonus points kicker, you're actually looking at a 1.875% to 6.5% cash back on almost all categories. So there we have it, what I would recommend to college students and soon-to-be college graduates alike. I'll put up a little graphic here so you get a better visual of my ranking. At number 5, you have any annual fee free travel credit card. At number 4, you have the US Bank Altitude Connect Visa card. At number 3, you have the City Premier card. At number 2, you have the Capital One Venture X card. And at number 1, what I would most likely recommend is the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. And so with that, thank you for watching. I hope this video was both informative and entertaining to watch. If you like this style of content, please consider leaving a like and ringing that notification bell, and even consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm currently making a travel card series called Travel Card Tuesday, where every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be posting a new video on the next travel credit card in my personal list. Once I'm done with that, I'll be talking about more educational stuff like what travel hacking is and what credit card churning is. And if you couldn't tell from this video already, I couldn't wait to start. So in the meantime, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on the next video next Tuesday. I also want to hear from you guys as well. So let me ask you a question that's been on my mind recently. What do you think is the best travel credit card on the market right now and why? I've already explained my reasoning behind my answer in this video, so I'm not going to repeat myself. And with that, thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace.